Picture a crisp spring morning at Callahan Ranch, 60 acres of golden alfalfa and lowing cattle, where the only trouble's a loose goat or a coyote sniffing too close. I'm Nate Callahan, 38 single. Running this spread with sweat and stubbornness, I was sipping coffee on the porch, boots up, when the crack of splintering wood hit like a gunshot. Two fake HOA cops from Harmony Hills, a glitzy subdivision a mile off, were tearing down my cedar fence with crowbars, laughing like they owned the dirt. They didn't see Oleg Malov, my Russian beekeeper neighbor, step out in a smoker's haze, his voice promising coffins. Those goons were about to learn you don't break a rancher's fence without bleeding for it. It was 8 a.m. The ranch alive, cattle grazing, chickens scratching my mare, Juno, snorting in the corral. I leaned on the porch rail, coffee steaming, savoring the quiet. My cedar fence, hand-built with my old man over 2 dusty weekends, framed the drive, its planks weathered. But proud Harmony Hills, with its glass McMansions and fake fountains, had sprouted last year. Their standards creeping like kudzu. Then came the crack, sharp like a bone snapping. I bolted up, coffee sloshing, and saw them. 2 strangers on my land. No invite, no sense. They wore olive green polos. Harmony Hills. HOA enforcement stitched cheap. No badges, just steel crowbars glinting. Bryce Tanner, 30s, tall, pale skin, narrow face with a smug grin, worked a crowbar into a plank-mirrored sunglasses hiding his eyes. Derek Holt, 40s, stocky fair skin, shaved head gleaming, flashed a gummy smirk, kicking a panel until it split. Splinters littered the grass. My fence groaning, I stormed down the steps, heart pounding. "What the hell are you doing?" I barked, boots crunching gravel. Bryce didn't look up, prying another plank. "Violation of Regulation 22A, he droned. "Non-compliant materials unauthorized. Build citations coming." I blinked, rage rising. "Citation. This is my ranch, private land. No." HOA. Derek turned, smirking wider. Brown eyes, glinting. "Transitional Compliance Team Board voted to expand last month. This is our turf now." He stomped another plank, cracking it like kindling. My fists clenched, 1962 deed, flashing in my mind. "Callahan Ranch, free and clear. You can't destroy my property," I shouted, grabbing my phone. Derek laughed, nasal and sharp. "This ain't your land anymore, buddy. It's shared aesthetic space. Shared. My blood. Boiled." I dialed 911. But before I could speak, a voice rolled in, low, heavy, like thunder over the plains. "You tear down his fence," it said. "You better build coffin too." Bryce froze, sunglasses slipping. Derek's smirk twitched. From the pasture gate, Oleg Malov emerged. 60s, broad-shouldered, 6'4", pale skin. Stark under a beekeeper's hood. One brown eye, warm. One gray eye, cold as steel. His flannel shirt and work vest were sun-faded canvas gloves, gripping a smoker, puffing white mist. A honey jar dangled in his other hand. Label peeling. Oleg, ex-Soviet combat engineer. Tended bees like others. Tend roses. His hives humming across the fence line. I'd known him 6 years. Weather chats, tomato tips. But this Oleg was different, like a man who'd stared down tanks and found crowbars laughable. He stepped closer. Boots, soft on grass. Smoker, hissing. "You break fence. That's not yours," he said. Brown and gray eyes, locked on Derek. "You break order." Bryce backed up, pale skin. Paling further. Sunglasses useless. "Sir, this is enforcement," he stammered. Derek raised his crowbar, brown eyes narrowing. "Back off, old man." Oleg's gaze didn't flicker, like a wolf sizing up a yapping dog. "You bring crowbars," he said. "I bring better." He pumped the smoker, smoke curling toward them, a bee drifting near his shoulder. The air stilled their bravado, cracking. My camera app was open, recording my deed, ironclad, and Callahan Ranch was no HOA playground. Oleg's hive hummed, and these fake cops were about to face a Russian reckoning. Harmony's HOA goons trashed my fence, but Oleg's bees are buzzing for justice. Harmony Hill's fake HOA goons thought smashing my cedar fence would cow Callahan Ranch, but Nate Callahan's got a spine, and Oleg Malov, my Russian beekeeper neighbor, froze them with a coffin threat. Bryce Tanner and Derek Holt, swinging crowbars in their cheap polos, splintered my hand-built fence, yapping about aesthetic violations. But my 1962 deed and gate camera called their bluff. Harmony's McMansions gleamed a mile off their shine cracking. I stood by the corral phone filming as the sheriff roared in, and these clowns were about to eat dirt. It was noon, Callahan Ranch humming. Juno the mare, pawing chickens, darting my fence's splintered planks, scattered like broken promises. I clutched my phone, 911 on speaker pulse, racing from Derek's boot, shattering my work. Nate Callahan, medium tan skin, square-jawed face with a furious scowl. Wore a flannel shirt and jeans, green eyes burning at Bryce Boots' firm. Oleg, pale skin, broad face with an icy stare, stood by the pasture gate, flannel shirt and work vest. Dusty, one brown eye. Warm, one gray eye, cold. Smoker, puffing mist. Honey, jar, grounded Bryce. Pale skin. Narrow face with a twitching grimace, fumbled his crowbar in his olive green polo, mirrored sunglasses, slipping, gray eyes flicking to Oleg Derek. Fair skin, round face with a fading smirk, gripped his crowbar in his polo, brown eyes, darting to the road, shaved head dripping sweat. We're Harmony Hills enforcement. Bryce barked, voice wobbling, authorized. Derek growled, gummy grin, gone, authorized. My ranch laughs at their gated dreams. You trashed my fence on my land, I shouted, waving my phone. Show badges. Bryce's grimace deepened. Derek's eyes twitched. Oleg advanced, Smoker hissing, brown and gray eyes locked. No badge. No board, he rumbled. You break order. A bee buzzed near his shoulder, smoke curling. Bryce coughed, pale skin. Sallow. Derek flinched, brown eyes wide. Sirens screamed, 2 sheriff's cars tearing up the ranch road. Dust swirling, Deputy Carla Ruiz, olive skin, angular face, with a stern frown leapt out. Badge shining brown eyes, scanning Callahan. She called, hand near her holster. I nodded, pointing at the wreckage. They're destroying my property, claiming HOA rights. Her partner, Deputy Tom Wells, fair skin, lean face with a skeptical squint, eyed the crowbars. IDs, credentials. Carla snapped. Bryce sputtered. We're compliance team. Fence violates code. Derek waved a fake citation. Brown eyes frantic. We're legit. Carla grabbed the paper, scowling. This is junk. Harmony's HOA. Don't own ranches. She eyed their polos, shoddy patches. No badges. Tom snorted. Kiosk specials. Impersonations a felony. Bryce's gray eyes darted. Derek's shaved head glistened. We got orders. Bryce whined. Carla cut him off. Orders to vandalize. Lucky this beekeeper didn't sting you. Oleg Smoker, steady brown and gray eyes piercing, grunted. Queen Natasha waits. A bee drifted toward Derek, who swatted wildly. Carla watched my camera clip, Bryce prying, Derek kicking, Oleg's voice booming. Cuff 'em, she told Tom, who snapped cuffs on fast. Bryce's crowbar clanged. Derek's hands trembled. This is wrong, Bryce yelped, but Tom smirked. Cry to the judge. I called Tara Callahan, my county clerk's sister, at dusk. Nate Harmony's scamming outsiders, she said, voice sharp. Fake fines, threats, your ranch ain't theirs. Get that video to a lawyer. Tara emailed my 1962 deed and a 2023 Harmony plat, my 60 acres untouchable. My gate cam caught Bryce yesterday muttering, this ranch'd fetch millions, as lots. Lots. My land. I saved it. Stomach twisting. The deputies dragged Bryce and Derek off their SUV, towed. Oleg stood by the corral smoker, curling eyes on the horizon. They'll return, he warned. Voice low. Harmony wasn't after my fence. They wanted my ranch. My camera was hot, lawyer ready, and these fake cops were about to face a hive's wrath. The sun sank over Callahan Ranch, casting shadows across the corral, where my splintered cedar fence lay like a wounded steer. I'd caught Harmony Hill's fake cops. Bryce Tanner and Derek Holt red-handed their crowbar chaos, undone by my gate camera. And Oleg Malov's smoker, now with X as my lasso. I was ready to drag their scam into the light, backed by the hum of Oleg's hives and a rancher's wrath. Twilight bathed Callahan Ranch, Juneau, the mare nibbling alfalfa chickens, settling the barn's weathered planks glowing. Nate Callahan, medium tan skin, square-jawed face, with a fierce grin, wore a flannel shirt and jeans. Green eyes glued to my phone. Gate. Clip primed, Oleg. Pale skin. Broad face with a grim stare, stood by the pasture gate. Flannel shirt and work vest. Dusty, one brown eye. Warm, one gray eye cold. Smoker, quiet honey jar at his feet. His bees buzzed softly, a restless chorus. My gate cam had gold. Bryce in his olive green polo, muttering about slicing my ranch into lots. My gut churned, my 60 acres, not their playground. I called Tara. Callahan, my county clerk's sister, Nate, Harmony's fleecing ranches, she said, voice like a whip. Fake fines, bullying, 6 spreads hit, post that clip on X, get a lawyer. Tara emailed a 2022 Harmony map. My land free, but their compliance zone forged a lie. I fired up X, posting the clip. Harmony's fake cops trashed my fence, plotting to steal my ranch for lots. HOA scam. I added my 1962 deed, splintered planks, and Deputy Carla Ruiz's card. They broke my land. Shut 'em down. By midnight. 12,000 views. 4,000 reposts. Market folks roared. Oleg thumbing, X grunted. Homeowners say these clowns soured their fancy gates. A local blog screamed. Rancher nails. HOA fraud. Harmony's lot sales froze per my realtor buddy. At dawn, Bryce and Derek out on bail. Targeted Ms. Rose's pecan grove, outside Harmony's reach. I caught them at her gate. Bryce's pale skin flushed, narrow face. Sneering gray eyes. Glaring polo. Crisp waving a fine. Derek fair skin, round face. Twitching brown eyes, shifty. Scribbled in his polo, shaved head slick. Unruly trees. Bryce barked at Rosa, olive skin, round face with a defiant scowl. Brown eyes flashing gray, braid swaying in a denim skirt. Fork over $1,200 or we take your grove. Rosa snapped. My pecans will bury your HOA. I signaled Oleg by the barn, his brown and gray eyes like steel, work vest smudged. They scare my hay crew, he said, nodding at Rosa's kin. I posted again. Bryce's fine. The forged 2022 map. Rosa's grove tagged the county. Harmony's robbing ranches. Stop HOA. Views soared to 20,000. Harmony homeowners swearing off dues. My cam caught Derek's truck, prowling my gate, brown eyes glinting in the dusk. Tara called at noon, Nate Harmony's boards sweating. She said, your ex-posts crashed their market, no buyers, counties digging into their map fraud. She sent Harmony's bylaws, 0 claim over non-members. My ranch was a fortress. Carla texted Bryce and Derek's. Credentials are garbage. Felony charges coming. I rang Nora. Blake, my lawyer, a property law bulldog. Nate grabbed Rosa's statement. More footage, she said, voice iron. We'll hit him with extortion. By evening, Rosa stood with us at the corral, denim skirt, dusty brown eyes blazing. They find my trees to force a sale, she said. I posted her fight X, spiking to 30,000 views. Locals and homeowners chanting, defend. Callahan Ranch, Harmony's board, was fracturing, but Bryce and Derek's truck circled again, polos fading in the dark. Oleg gripped his smoker brown and gray eyes locked on the road. They send bigger trouble, he warned. I stood by the barn. Juneau's breath, Steaming, my fence's scars. A battle cry Harmony's scam was burning, but their next move was slinking closer, and it wasn't wearing a cheap polo. Harmony's scam is crumbling, but a new player's creeping in, one with sharper claws than Bryce's crowbar. What's their next strike? If you're rooting for Callahan Ranch to crush these HOA fakes, slam that like button, and let's drive this scam out of town. Dawn broke over Callahan Ranch. The corral glowing where my cedar fence's splinters once lay, now stacked neat. By the barn, my ex-posts, scorching at 30,000 views, had Harmony Hill's fake cops, Bryce Tanner and Derek Holt, running scared. Their land grab scam, gutted by my gate camera, and Oleg Malov's smoker. But a new enforcer slunk in thinking she could fence a rancher with words. She didn't know. Callahan grit, or Oleg's bees don't bend. The ranch hummed, Juno the mare chomping hay cattle grazing chickens pecking gravel. Nate Callahan, medium tan skin, square-jawed face with a sly smirk, wore a flannel shirt and jeans. Green eyes, scrolling X reposts, climbing Oleg pale skin. Broad face, with a steely frown, leaned on the pasture gate, flannel shirt and work vest, dusty. 1. Brown eye, warm. 1. Gray eye, cold, smoker idle. Honey, jar grounded, his hives buzzed softly, a coiled threat. My ex-clip of Bryce plotting to carve my ranch into lots sparked 7,000 reposts market folks and Harmony homeowners fuming. Their property values sank 12%. Per my realtor pal, lots, gathering dust. A fresh fine hit my mailbox. $1 $800 for non-compliant fencing. My fence. It stood longer than their HOA. I called Tara. Callahan, my county clerk's sister. Nate, their board's in chaos, she said, voice taut. Their 2023 maps of forgery claims your ranch as easement. Post it, we're suing. Tara sent the map my 60 acres untouchable. Harmony's easement. A bold-faced lie. A black sedan rolled up. Not Bryce's beat-up truck. Lydia Marsh stepped out. Fair-skinned, thin face, with a strained smile. Green eyes, darting nervously, navy blazer, stiff against the dusty gate. Mr. Callahan, she said, voice thin. I'm Harmony's board secretary. Let's settle. Drop fines if you rebuild to our code. I crossed my arms. Green eyes narrowing. Settle. After your clowns smashed my fence and eyed my land. Lydia glanced at Oleg's smoker in hand, brown and gray eyes like ice. Bryce and Derek acted alone, she said, blazer tightening. Agree to fence rules and fines vanish. I'd sooner trade Juno for a golf cart. Oleg stepped closer, voice gravelly. You send fakes, no deal. I flashed my deed map and cam clips, smelling a trap. Tara texted Lydia's, their puppet. Stay sharp. We headed to Harmony's community center, a tacky hall with fake chandeliers and polished floors, reeking of wealth. 70 homeowners filled it, some in suits, others in denim. Like my hay crew, waving at me. Bryce and Derek slumped at a table, Bryce's pale skin, ashen, narrow face. Grim gray eyes, dodging mine. Polo creased, Derek, fair skin, round face. Twitching brown eyes, downcast. Polo, stained shaved head dull. Lydia took the podium, green eyes, skittish. We're addressing enforcement errors, she said, voice wobbling. Mr. Callahan, accept fence codes and fines are cleared. I stood, boots echoing on the glossy floor. Codes my ranch ain't your HOA deed map. Bylaws prove it. I held up the forged map. Its easement a fraud. You're stealing ranches for lots. I played the clip, Bryce's voice booming. Millions as lots. The room exploded. Homeowners shouting, you're robbing outsiders. My lot's tanking, a suit-clad man roared. No dues. A denim-clad woman yelled. Dump the board. Bryce's gray eyes widened. Derek's brown eyes sank. Lydia stammered. We'll investigate. But 30 homeowners stormed out swearing to ditch dues. Oleg filming on X hit 35,000 views. Brown and gray eyes gleaming. Ms. Rosa olive skin, round face, fierce brown eyes blazing gray, braids swaying in a denim skirt stood. They find my pecans outside their line. Nate's right. Lydia's blazer drooped, green eyes flickering. I leaned toward her voice, low. Your map's with the DA. My lawyer's got you dead to rights. She swallowed. Smile collapsing. We'll revise enforcement, she mumbled. Bryce and Derek fled, truck screeching. Tara texted board's meeting tomorrow. Keep pushing, Oleg muttered. They send nastier next. I stood by the corral at dusk. Juno snorting, Harmony's new enforcer scheming. Their next move was brewing, and it wasn't just talk. Harmony's board is cracking, but a new enforcer's circling one with tricks sharper than Derek's crowbar. What's their final play? Sunlight blazed over Callahan Ranch, the corral gleaming where my cedar fence once lay, in splinters, now stacked for rebuilding. My ex-posts, scorching past 35,000 views, had gutted Harmony Hill's scam, with Bryce Tanner and Derek Holt's crowbar fraud exposed, and Lydia Marsh's truce torched. My 1962 deed and gate camera proved my 60 acres were mine, and Harmony's McMansions, a mile off, dimmed like a busted bulb. I stood by the barn, ready to bury their HOA with Oleg Malov's bees humming. Victory, it was noon. Callahan Ranch alive. Juno. The mare grazing cattle, lowing chickens, scratching dust. Nate Callahan, medium tan skin, square-jawed face, with a triumphant grin, wore a flannel shirt and jeans, green eyes scanning the horizon. Oleg, pale skin, broad face, with a calm nod, stood by the pasture gate, flannel shirt and work vest, dusty one brown eye, warm, one gray eye cold, smoker, silent, honey jar at his feet. His hives buzzed steadily, a sentinel's pulse. Tara Callahan, my county clerk, sister called at dawn. Nate Harmony's board folded, she said, voice sharp. Your ex-posts crashed their market lots. Unsellable. They're offering $20,000 for damages, legal fees. Paid a public apology and your ranch cleared of fines. Tara emailed their surrender, a county-filed letter signed by Lydia Marsh, admitting my land was free. My lawyer, Nora Blake, texted Bryce and Derek, face, felony charges, extortion impersonation. My gate cam caught Bryce muttering about lots now with the DA. The settlement was set at Callahan Ranch, not Harmony's gaudy hall. 80 folks market regulars, Harmony homeowners and neighbors, like Ms. Rosa gathered by the barn, Juno snorting chickens clucking, Rosa olive. Skin round face with a proud smile, brown eyes gleaming gray braid, swaying in a denim skirt waved a pecan pie. Lydia arrived in her sedan, fair skin, thin face, with a defeated grimace, green eyes downcast. Navy blazer, wrinkled, Mr. Callahan, she said, voice flat. Harmony Hills apologizes for enforcement errors. Your fines are void. You're not in our HOA. She handed me a $20,000 check, the letter, and a weak nod. Our patrols disbanded. I crossed my arms, green eyes fierce. Errors. You sent goons to smash my fence. Find Rose's pecans faked maps to steal ranches. I held up the 2023 map, its easement a lie. You bullied my neighbors, eyed my land for lots. Homeowners cheered, some filming. Oleg live-streamed on X 40,000 views. Brown and gray eyes glinting. Rosa stepped up, brown eyes fiery. They threatened my grove. Nate saved us. A Harmony mom in yoga pants shouted, "We're done with HOAs, thieves." Lydia's green eyes widened, blazer sagging. Tara, fair skin, oval face with a sharp smirk, strode forward in a county blazer. Hazel eyes gleaming. Harmony's map frauds with the DA. Bryce and Derek are nabbed. The crowd roared. Market folks clapping, Harmony residents hugging Rosa. Bryce, pale skin. Narrow face. Ashen gray eyes, sunken, slumped in cuffs nearby. Polo. Filthy Derek, fair skin, round face, twitching brown eyes, dull stood cuffed, shaved head, bowed, polo, torn. Carla Ruiz olive, skin, angular face with a stern nod. Brown eyes scanning oversaw their escort. Weeks later, Harmony's new board sent a sign, Callahan Ranch free forever. Neighbor to Harmony, we rebuilt the fence planks straighter sealed tight, a carved bee glowing in moonlight at a market barbecue. Rose's pie stole the show. Harmony folks mingled with ranch hands, kids chasing chickens. Tara grinned, hazel eyes twinkling. County redrew Harmony's map. Your ranch is sacred. My gate cam caught a Sunset Fields, golden. No. HOA trucks in sight. I walked the corral at dusk, Juno grazing Oleg's hives humming across the fence. Bryce's scam was dust. Harmony's grip broken, Callahan Ranch stood tall, carrots sweeter at market neighbors. Boulder, Oleg tipped his honey jar. Brown and gray eyes, steady. Fence is rule, he said. Break rule, meet hive. I nodded, grinning. Your home ranch, grove, or apartment is your line in the sand. Stand with your neighbors. Wield truth like a hammer, and no scam can fence you in. Protect your roots, fight loud, and keep your hive tight. If you're pumped to see Callahan Ranch crush HOA, fakes, hit that subscribe button and join the fight to keep the range free.